Good evening, fellow dragon fruit growers. This is Paul, and tonight I'm going to show you a strategy I like to use to test for self-fertility on my dragon fruit varieties. This beautiful plant here is Dark Star, and you can see what I like to use. Just a brown paper bag, a lunch bag I call it, and blue painter's tape. And it's about 7 p.m. at dusk and the flower has not opened up yet. As you can see here, I'm testing 2 flowers. Here's the other one. And so you can see it hasn't opened up yet. And I just basically put it on like you can see here. And then tape it up. So make sure that you minimize the chance for cross-contamination because you don't want other pollen to cross-pollinate that flower. Now some growers do like to use this. This is called a bug barrier, or mosquito netting bug barrier, and it's basically like a bag, a mesh bag. That's what I would describe it as. Really fine mesh, but there is a chance that you could get pollen through that, in my opinion. So that's why I like to use a paper bag. And you can see here, I have several other varieties opening up tonight. Here's Trisha. So I definitely need to be careful about cross-pollination. So I'm gonna come back to these flowers at about 10:30 tonight, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so it's 10:30 p.m. and this is how I test for self-fertility. So first, I take off the bag, and I am gonna reuse this bag. So I try to remove it carefully. You'll see the flower is gonna be open, just like that. Now what I like to do is I'll just collect the pollen using this ramekin. I like to use metal or porcelain. So I'm just going to collect some pollen. I'm going to use the same pollen on both flowers to test it out. So I have plenty. And then what I like to do is just pollinate the stigma right on the spot. I'm going to collect a little more pollen for that other flower just in case, and to cross-pollinate some other flowers. I need this pollen for tonight. So there we go, plenty of extra. So again, I'll probably give it one more just for good measure. And then now I have a few options. I could just bag it up and be done with it, but what I like to do is I don't want the bees to be attracted to this tomorrow. So you can actually cut the petals all the way off. And I'll show you how to cross-pollinate using a similar method as what I'm doing right now. And then you could even actually remove the anthers with the scissors as well, and the pollen sacs. So I'm gonna clean this up just to keep it away so the bees won't be attracted to this. And then I should probably remove the rest of it. That's just one method that you can do. And so now there's no more pollen to attract the bees. And then I could even just bag it up again. I do like to use a fresh piece of tape. And you could use that nice bag that I showed you earlier, but this will work too. I actually prefer this method. Now if you just tie it up, the bees can squeeze in. So I think the best way to do it is use a paper bag, unless of course it's raining. So I'm just gonna leave this on for about 24 to 48 hours, probably in 2 evenings I will remove this bag. So there you go. That's how I test for self-fertility, and we'll follow up for the final part of this video in about 5 days to see if this set fruit on its own. All right, let's wait a few more days and we'll find out the results of this self-fertility test on Dark Star. Okay, it's been 60 hours, 2 nights. So you can see what happens to the flower when it's been in a bag for 2 evenings. Here's the one that we cut. There. You can see it looks different. And then within 4 to 5 days, 4 to 7 days actually, we're gonna wait to see if this yellows. And that's what I expect it to do, because they say that Dark Star is self-sterile, just like its seedling siblings. All right, let's see what happens in a few more days. Okay, so it's been 5 days, and let's see the results. So here's the first flower that I did not cut, and you can see how loose it is, and that means that it's failing. It's gonna abort in a few days. I'll probably just pluck off right now pretty easily. See? So when it's that loose, you know that you're not gonna be successful after day 5. Now the one down here that I cut, you can compare and contrast the two after 5 days. So this top one bloomed the following night, and you can see it has a line here, it stops. And so this is definitely set fruit. It's on there really firm. And I can even break this off quite easily and pull that off like that. Now you have to be careful. You might want to hold the fruit sometimes, because I've broken off a few fruit doing that same thing. Now with this one, you could see the difference. Look at how loose it is. So compare and contrast one that set fruit with a cross-pollination, and this was with its own pollen source. And this is the one that I cut all the parts off of the plant. So you could see. So this one's aborted too. So this one, this plant, this variety, Dark Star, is self-sterile for sure. I'll check 1 or 2 more times just to triple check. I think it's important to check. But there you go. Matt's Landscape. That's where I got this one, Dark Star. It is not self-fertile. So I've been cross-pollinating its flowers all season. You can see why I have so many lovely fruit. And interesting, this was like frozen pollen. Could have been refrigerated, I can't remember. One of these was frozen, one of these was refrigerated, and this was fresh pollen. So you can also notice that when you're using fresh pollen, your fruits can be larger, depending on the pollen source, I would assume. But in my experience, I've noticed that a lot. So this one's just turning color. It's gonna be ripe really soon. So there you go. That is how you test for self-fertility, or that's how I test for self-fertility. I hope that helps. Give us a like, subscribe. Thanks for your time. Have yourself a wonderful day, and happy dragon fruit growing.